Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rider Time podcast here on the Morphin Network. I'm Mike, your host, and we are here today to discuss the one and only Kamen Rider Gotchard, episode 37, Hopper1 and the Treasure. And oh my god, and like a normal sounding title. No weird puns or anagrams or inserting a word in the middle of another word. I could just write the title straight up, as any season should be. How's everyone doing? I hope you all had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend and a good rest of your week. I myself, as of the time of this recording, I had a chance to see The Crow, the original 1994 film, in theaters. And yes, on our sister show, The Buttery Show, I will be posting a vlog about it. So I hope you all will get to enjoy watching that video when I post it up. But with that in mind, we are here to discuss Gotchard, and as I said before, last week's episode is actually not bad. It actually had some good stuff going for it. Now, so the big question is, will this episode live up to it? That's the real question. And I'm going to be honest, only a little bit. Only a little bit. I have to say, it could have been better, but it wasn't terrible. It was pretty standard fare. Yeah, so yeah, like I could say it could have been better, but given how much worse previous episodes have been, I will take it in stride. I just wish that it could have been as good as the previous episode, because the previous episode was actually really good. Like, it was a good episode. I even made a joke about this probably being inverse Hibiki, where like only the last trimester is good instead of the first two trimesters being good. But I guess this episode won't do as much justice to prove it as much as the next episode will be. So here's hoping. And yes, we're 37 episodes in, so it's about time we see our final form. You know, I noticed that in a lot of second half of Heisei era, a lot of the final forms would show up a little bit earlier. I mean, like with Kiva, he appeared in episode 24. Decade, episode 19, but considering that there's only 31 episodes, like I suppose if you multiply that by 5/3, you'd end up with, let's see, 6 times 5. It would be around episode 30. So I suppose it's around there where the trend started. So with W, it was around episode 32. O's also around episode 32. Forze, 34. So it's a little bit of an upgrade compared to, wait, was it also 32? I can't remember. Yeah, actually I think it was also 32. Wizard is, I remember being an odd number, so it was either 31 or 33. Guy was around 35-ish. Drive definitely earlier on was around 31 or 33. Let's just average it out to around 32. Ghost definitely somewhere in that ballpark as well. X8, yeah, that too a little bit, but in X8's defense, that season only had 45 episodes, so I'll give it credit. But then it kind of undoes itself when you consider the fact that that once we get to Build, he got his final form around episode 39 or 40. GO around episode 40. 01 definitely episode 40. See, like at that point, I actually remember where the final forms were. 38 for 38 for Saber, 40 for was it 38 or was it 40 for Barrett Rex? Gifford Rex. Let's see. Geats 9, definitely episode 38, that for sure. Like, I can't get Geats out of my head because Geats was a fantastic season. So yeah, like there was this hot streak of seasons where like they would have final forms in the early 30s, but then they moved back to late 30s. So I'm not too worried about this. And it is better than just having, it is better than just simply having a final form in literally the second to last episode. I'm looking at you, Kuga. Yeah, but typically it's somewhere around this ballpark where you get a final form. So episode 38, we're stopping at around the same time as Geats. So I'm not upset about it. I just wish the buildup was a little bit better. But considering how terrible I thought it would be, at least they're doing it a little bit better. But I also feel like certain parts of things are being rushed. Again, why is it an egg? And again, I still say that the whole 4-part episode with the Kamen Rider Legend was kind of a waste of time. Like, it did not need to be there at all. Or if you are going to include it, put it like earlier on, like just after they defeated Grayon. But, let's get right into the episode. So we find out that when they defeated Skabos and it turned into a white husk, it cannot be realchemized back into a car, which means, for all intents and purposes, it might be dead. And what's else to worry about is that they did take Ant Trooper, so that means there's a possibility Ant Trooper might not only become black, might not only become a black amalgam, but also defeating it would mean having to destroy it. Our heroes, they try to fight it off when it actually does show up, but they can't handle it without Gotchard's help. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Meanwhile, Hopper1 understands that Hotaro's upset, so he tries to get the golden flower from the story. So he goes on a little adventure. I really hate how short-lived that adventure is, because while we do get a cute scene where it gets licked to death by a puppy, and believe me, I love getting licked to death by puppies. Problem is, it's like so much of this adventure happens off screen that it's like, why is it even here? It's like, when did you find the flowers? Where? How? I was expecting the flowers to be a little bit more of a challenge to find, because they talked it up so much in the previous episode, and yet they just finished that storyline like right here. And to be fair, they didn't have a chance to use the flowers. I just wish that it took more effort to obtain the flowers. I was hoping there would be more of a challenge. Maybe Hotaro's belief system might have to be put into question, or something to work with. But and again, to be fair, the flowers were not utilized, so there could be more to it. But I just hate that Hopper1 got it a little too quickly. But yeah, so Hotaro learns that, he's going to have to fight Ant Trooper no matter what. And the heroes, they try to defeat it and try to re-alchemize it back into a car as quickly as possible. But unfortunately, as soon as he got re-alchemized, it turned back into a white card, so you can't use Ant Trooper anymore. So it's just as, well, a husk as a Skabaus was. And as soon as Hopper1 tries to reunite with Hotaro with the yellow flowers in tow, Gitses tries to transform Hopper1 into amalgam. And oh my god, something actually interesting is actually happening. Yes, Hopper1 turning into Amalgam is actually a good idea. And yeah, what can I say about this? I do see. This isn't. Here's my issue with this part of the story. As much as I like Hopper1 turning into Amalgam, and believe me, I love this idea. What does bother me is how quickly they dispatch him. Let me put it to you in more simple terms. This is effectively a 3-part episode where it's like, oh, we find out that this bad thing is happening. Episode 2, Hopper1 turns into Amalgam and gets defeated. And then part 3, Hotaro turns into his final form and fights Gigas. This should have been a 4-parter. Let me explain how I would have done it differently. Part 2 ended with Hopper1 turning into Amalgam. Don't defeat Hopper1 just yet. Just let it cook. And yes, have Hopper1 really put Hotaro through the ringer. And we did see that happen in this episode. I appreciate that. But end the episode there. End the episode there. Just there. Just end it there. Make another episode that covers the remaining 5 minutes of this episode where they have to make it so that they have to retreat and they have to realize that, oh no, Hopper1 turned into Amalgam and we have to fight him. And then have the episode end with Hotaro resolving to use his iron form to defeat the Hopper Amalgam. And really make Hopper1 really struggle with it. Give him moments of hesitation where it's like he's about to kill Hotaro, but he's like, but unfortunately, like Hotaro has to make that difficult decision to defeat. So basically, stretch this one episode out into 2 episodes. That's all. That's it. And then play the next episode as is. That's how you should do it. Make it that simple. But they're not gonna do it because we've seen how they did it. But other than that, I have almost no problems with this episode. My only complaint, I actually really liked this episode. My only complaint about the episode itself is just the flowers just being so quick to find. Heck, even one of the ways you could stretch this episode out is by having Hopper1 take more time to find the flowers and make it more difficult. But then by the end of the episode, Hopper1 finally gets the flowers and then almost instantly turns into Amalgam. You could continue the fight in the next episode. Have Hotaro retreat. Have Hotaro go round 2 against Hopper Amalgam and then follow through. And then part 4 is the part 3 here. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. You know, as far as the design for Hopper Amalgam, it's actually not too bad. I want to take one more quick look at it real quick. Just to make sure that I could go into more detail about its amalgam form. Withered, no. Yeah, there aren't any good pictures of its full body. Hold on, maybe if I go to Google Images, because Google Images are always helpful. Okay, so yeah, it's got the arms crossed just the way I like it. Yeah, it's a really good design. A little bit is a kind of reminiscent of Showa Kamen Rider. Yeah, although it's on one hand, it does feel like it's meant to be more based on Kamen Rider Ichigo, as he theoretically should be. But the thing is, because of the bright green colors, it makes me think more about Sky Rider than actual Ichigo. Yeah, that's the main thing, you know. That's all I have to say about it, really. Yeah. It's really good design. I like how like the various insect legs are like woven over his human arms and stuff, while like the larger legs become like gold pincers, not pincers, but sort of claws and stuff. Um, yeah, it's actually one of the better designs from this season. I actually appreciate it. Um, and again, my only complaint is literally just make it harder to get the flowers. And if I could do one thing to improve it, stretch it out into 2 episodes. That's it. That's all I have. 9 out of 10. It's a decent. It's a pretty good episode, but just tiny little things could have improved upon it. But considering that on average this show's been pushing a bunch of 7s and 8s and the occasional 6, and almost no 10s, honestly. Yeah, a 9 is not a bad score for this episode. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna give it. It could be better, but I'll take the little victories as I can. I just hope that the next episode doesn't mess up the build up. Where this episode is clearly made to build up to the next episode. I hope it doesn't screw it up, because Gotchard has a nasty habit of doing it. I hope it stays consistently better for the remaining 15-ish episodes of the show. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think is going to happen next? What are your thoughts on the design of the Hopper amalgam? What do you think about the giant egg that Hotaru was turned into? Let me know. This countdown to the final form gives me anxiety. Honestly, me too. Because I think you put it pretty well. It will either be superbly amazing or incredibly boring. Nothing can live up to Geats 902 or Cross Saber. I find it interesting that you didn't mention Gifford Rex, but to be fair, the Gifford Rex episode did not feel very special like the other 3 episodes did, because like going into the 3 that you mentioned, let's go into those. But 02, we have the issue of having to deal with Arc Zero and its ability to predict outcomes and stuff, and finding out that that this whole calamity that we see is all just one giant simulation was insane. But also it's kind of cool how like basically the transformation sequence looks like a massive arc reactor, and then we have this whole chess thing going on between Arc Zero and 02. It was pretty cool. 02 for Cross Saber. Yes, we have all of the Holy Knights united together in one spot. You have this like dark, and the sky is dark like it's Go-Go 5, and you have like all 11 swords together combined to make one beautiful cosmic blue sword. It was beautiful to see. And of course, Geats 9. Do I even need to go into detail about Geats 9? Even the actual fight sequence. Like, it was like watching Kurama versus Karasu from Yu Yu Hakusho, which, by the way, I'm rewatching for the millionth time right now. So, Geats 9 had an amazing intro, as did 02. Saber was relatively good, but I'm really worried about how Gotchard's gonna pull his off, because given the streak that this season has, I don't know how it's gonna hold up against even compared to a Gifford Rex. I don't know how it's gonna hold up against it. I hope it's gonna do better. I just have my doubts. The quest for the Golden Flower begins. Rip and Trooper. Yeah. Also, he draws the face of his dad. When will he come home? Yeah. Well, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, Holmheim of Light, that convenient glare of his face. And I did mention this in the previous episode. There's no reference to his dad yet. Who is his dad? What is the deal with his dad? Is his dad the reason why the egg is inside his body? I did mention that last week. I hope they're really hinting to it. Oh yeah, and something about eating pancakes because pancakes is love. Pancakes is love. Honestly, I'm more of a waffle person, but even then, like, I've grown out of eating bread, so like, I'd rather just have an omelet. Mystery Egg can talk. Apparently, it can. This episode was mid, but not bad. Okay, that's fair. Spanner gets another L. Yeah, he's getting a lot of L's. I hope he gets a final form at least. Man, can you imagine if? Oh, okay, Majay definitely needs a final form because she's the second rider. You can't just make a girl a second rider and then deprive her of a chance to have a final form. Even freaking Sakura, who should have been the second rider, heck, she should have been the main rider, got a final form. Granted, in the final episode, yeah, I know there's 4 more episodes after that, but those are basically fillers. But at least she did get a final form. Next episode is going to be exciting. Yeah, I have to disagree. I think it will simply be exceptional. I'm not very ecstatic about it. Let's hope they execute a phenomenal episode. I know these egg puns are really cracking you up, aren't they? Well, Hopper1 became Amalgam and gets fully defeated. Who predicted that? Congratulations, you made everyone cry. Yeah, again, they should have stretched it out just a smidge. I hope they were revived by Nijigan's power. Maybe. I like how the next week's episode, it involves rain, and when it stops, there's a beautiful... jeez. I'm not in a good mood anymore. Like, Chest, you put me in a bad mood with that reference. Not because you're wrong. Not because you're wrong. Put me in a bad mood because you are right. Like, they would do something low-hanging like that, let's be honest. Heck, I really like older seasons when, like, the rain would have been used better here. Gates used rain more effectively. Heck, even Kiva used the rain to better effect, particularly in one episode that brings me to tears and have nothing to wipe my tears with. If you've watched our last week's discussion of Kamen Rider Kiva, you know what I'm talking about. Also, Yuka Matohashi. Yeah, I wanted to mention that next week, but I may as well bring it up right now. Yeah, unfortunately, Yuka Motohashi passed away. She's famous for playing Yellow Racer in Car Ranger, and she played Sonona in Dawn Brothers. I loved her even more in Dawn Brothers, just to be clear, even though she's only there for one episode. But unfortunately, she passed away. It's really sad. I have to say, of the two female Car Rangers, she was my favorite of the two. Sad, but, it is what it is. Let's hope that the next Toku death won't be anytime soon. But sadly, we're going to have to take a deep breath and move forward. I don't want to think about it. I was expecting the Giant had all the colors of the rainbow or its main color, but no, we get a regular egg color. I mean, I was expecting it to look like the Digi Egg that you see on the actual card. So, if anything, and you can't tell me it doesn't look like a Digi Egg because it very much looks like a Digi Egg. Well, that's it for the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. This Sunday, we're doing our final installment of Kamen Rider Kiva. So So at the end of that episode, we're gonna spin the wheel and figure out what the next season we're gonna be doing after that. So stay tuned for that. Mondays, Kamen Rider. No. Mondays, Ultraman Rube. Wednesdays, Kamen Rider Gotchard. Thursdays, Bakuage Sentai Boom Boomcher. And on Sundays, it is whatever past season of Kamen Rider that we would be discussing. Normally it would be Kiva, but we're almost done with Kiva, so here we go. Check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do movie reviews, video game news. We just finished Shrek month, and we did all 4 main Shrek movies. And expect a new vlog coming real soon. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to find me and my personal content, you can find me on Instagram, Boken_Kawato, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKawato. Quick reminder that on June 9th, I will be at Robo Toy Fest at the Burbank Convention Center at the Marriott. If you're all the way on the East Coast of the United States, be sure to check out Ranger Stop in Orlando, Florida. No. Sorry, not Orlando, Florida. Ranger Stop and Pop at Atlanta, Georgia. Be sure to check that out on June 21st. There's going to be a lot of Power Ranger actors there, including Operation Overdrive Red Ranger. So that's like the one I would be most interested in seeing there. But and of course in August I will be at Power Morphicon, so be sure to say hi to me if you are so inclined. I will be at Robo Toy Fest and Power Morphicon. And with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update emergency kits, hug your loved ones, enjoy your weekend. Happy Friday, everyone. Bye.